Hello, good day, bonjour à tous. Good day to you, and I hope you're having a happy day. Welcome to our program, our 30-day challenge. And with you here is your coach, Coach Sally, to give you your challenge for the day. Okay? I'm glad to see you here. If you're a new subscriber, if you're a new student, or you are new on this channel, please consider subscribing. And if you're an old viewer, consider subscribing also. And I'm glad to see you here. All right, so today's challenge is new, and it's something I would always encourage anybody to do. It's fun also. What is the challenge? This challenge is for you to engage in a virtual tour of a city or a country where the target language is spoken. Learn about the culture, history, and tradition. Now, if you can physically go, fine, but of course, it's happening today, so if you're already in that city, it's good for you to take a tour of the place, find out what is going on. But if not, a virtual tour, of course, is for you to go on the internet, get information about that place. You can Google it, you can go on YouTube and look for a video that has a virtual tour already of how the country or the place or the target language is being spoken is done. So you learn about their culture, their history, their traditions, and any other nuances that would enrich the language. All right, so I've done this already, and it's quite interesting, especially when you talk about the food and the weather and the different traditional dances and beliefs. It's quite interesting. This will deepen your knowledge about the language and even influence your interpretation or translation. There are some cultural nuances that are specific to some people. For example, I know in India there is something I think I read about when you in some part of the world, maybe not in India, a thumbs up like this is seen as an insult. This normal thumbs up as an insult. And in Nigeria, from Nigeria, when you do like this to somebody, it's a threat. Like, you just do this to someone, you are threatening the person that you're going to do something negative to that person. So when you do this in other part of the world, doesn't really mean anything. It might just be like you're just clicking your fingers, or you're just in a good mood. Some parts of the world, oh yeah, I remember what Indians have. Nodding the head like this means no, while shaking the head like this means yes. The day I heard it, I was surprised. I watched it in a documentary that had a virtual tour about India, and it's quite surprising that things happen around the world that we don't know. So what you take in your country as normal may be seen as abnormal. Some countries, like when you do like this, when you do your hands like this, in my own country, it is an insult. When you do this to somebody, it's an insult. It's called uwarka. Uwarka means I'm insulting your mom. Okay? Like when the Americans use the B word and they call somebody a B something something. I don't want to use the exact words. That's what it means. Your mom is a this, your mom is a that. So in Nigeria, it is not a nice thing to do. And if you shake your fist like this at somebody in the US, it is seen as a threat to that person. But here, when you shake your fist like this in Nigeria, you are hailing, use the word hailing, you are trying to tell the person that you admire that person, you like the person. So when you shake your fist, it is seen as a respectful action, but shaking your fists like this in the US, is you are threatening the person that you're going to harm that person and so on. So these are things that help. If you are interpreting and they say he shook his fist at the man, and they said in Nigeria, you say okay, he hailed the man in Nigeria, if it's in Nigerian context. But if he shook his fists at the man in a place, maybe in the US, or is an American, then he was angry and he threatened to hurt the man by shaking his fist. So most people don't know that things like this are important, but really they are. It influences your interpretation. Okay, so we'll stop here today and see you in our next segment. Today was our day 23. Yeah, and I'm glad that we did it and ended it well. Bye. Adios.